It's 5 lights, and away we go for the first race of the evening. Purple J with a brilliant start. We got a Ferrari. Going to try and send it down the middle of Purple J and Del Boy, but Del Boy holds on to second place. And the Ferrari is lagging like mad. He's ghosting. He's in the middle of Del. That's crazy. There's an RV at the back that's gone off track. Not sure who that is, but we're going to stay with the front three. As the second Ferrari is going to try and go around the outside of Del. Oh, contact. Come on, man. There's no need for that contact there. That was ridiculous from Fred. James Mason in full. Purple J has got over a second to Del Boy already. As the two Ferraris scrap it at the back there. And Purple J is streaking ahead. Blue Killer, thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, dude. Hope you're doing well. But brilliant start from Del. Perfect start. As we see the Ferrari of Alfred still not giving up. Why he's ghosted. And oh my god, the man is time traveling at the moment. But James Mason is going to send it on the second Ferrari down the inside and makes that move into P3. That's a great move from James Mason down the grid. Yeltsin and Fresh Agent fighting again. This is round 2 from yesterday's British Grand Prix, and Yeltsin is ahead of Fresh Agent. The two Mercedes fighting it out. Great stuff. Meanwhile, top 4, James Mason finds himself back in P4 behind a Ferrari. He's got a Red Bull challenging him of Leo. And James Mason just about holds the Red Bull off, but James Mason is looking very racy again. Oh, that's a brave move down the inside of the Ferrari, who somehow lags ahead of James. Not sure what's going on with this Ferrari's connection, but it's poor as hell. As the Ferrari goes off, hits the wall, and James Mason is up to P4. Great stuff. We're going to look down the order. Yeltsin making a move on the Ferrari. 3 wide on the exit. Oh my god, that was absolute chaos. 3 cars coming together, and Fresh Agent making the most of that. Finds himself up at the P5. And is on the outside of the Red Bull and the Ferrari. This is going to be a brave move if he can stick it. No, backs out of it. The Red Bull and the Ferrari are side by side, and the Ferrari is round of Fred. And it's the two Mercedes that are battling again. Yeltsin with an absolute mega exit. Gets back past Del and Fresh Agent. Wow, Yeltsin with a 2-piece. Where did he come from? What an exit this guy had. Out of AJ corner, as we call it. Absolutely incredible. Wow, Fresh Agent all over the back of Del Boy now. When will Fresh Agent make the move? DRS will be enabled for him. Pulls to the inside as we head to turn 1. And James Purple J with a gap of 1.4 and the fastest lap for James Mason. But Purple J is pulling away in that McLaren. Enjoying life up top at the moment. Fresh Agent has got himself past Del Boy. Del Boy down to 6th place, down the order. Reading up 12th. Dragster up into 14th. Good stuff from Reading and Dragster. James Mason has got a Red Bull of Leo closing him down, but not far behind that Red Bull is Yeltsin. As the Red Bull gets himself a 3-second time penalty, that is going to drop him. And Yeltsin's going to try and actually, oh my god, the Williams of James Mason and the Red Bull Leo going side by side. And Leo is up to 2nd place. Yeltsin takes advantage of that as well and gets past James Mason. And Yeltsin is on fire again tonight. Finds himself up in the 3rd place. James Mason back down into 4th. And now Fresh Agent hunting down James Mason in the Williams. Meanwhile, up top, that gap is down to 0.04 of a second. Purple J, oh my god, the Red Bull was gained so much on Purple J, but Leo and Yeltsin now find themselves with penalties. So Purple J doesn't need to fight them too much, but he's going to want to take the win on track. But if he does lose the paces, if he can only sort of stick behind the Red Bull and the Mercedes of Yeltsin, just stay within 3 seconds. Wow, that's a late lunge from the Red Bull, and Purple J is going to come back at him. A little bit of contact. Oh, and that sent Yeltsin round and into the wall almost. That was a great save. Yeltsin could have been in the wall then, but luckily just about held it. That was really unfortunate that Yeltsin came off badly there, but we'll see Yeltsin in a minute. He'll recover. He'll come back. He's got pace tonight as Yeltsin, so don't rule him out just yet. Meanwhile, up top, Purple J survives, and Fresh Agent makes the move on James Mason, finds himself up into P2. My God, this is close between these three at the moment. Can Purple J hold off the charging Mercedes of Fresh Agent? Oh my goodness me, looks like James Mason might pull to the inside. Oh, thought about sending the dummy. Fresh Agent not falling for that one. But this is the battle for the lead. Look how close these three drivers are on track. Noah, good evening, buddy. I'll be there in the next race. No worries, dude. There should be space, pal. There should be space. Don't you worry. Good to see you, pal. Hope all is well, dude. Fresh Agent, great exit out of the last corner. Oh my God, James Mason. We're going to make it 3 wide. Wow, I thought James was going to send it. Fresh Agent then up into P1. James Mason into P2. Oh, unfortunately, James Mason has DRS over Jay, but Jay's not giving up. Jay looks like he's going to send it to the inside, backs out a bit too far back, settles for P3. Just keep it clean, man, and you're looking good for a podium, Purple Jay. Just keep it clean. Can James Mason make any impression on Fresh Agent? 4/10 is the gap. He will get DRS. We got yellow flags as we see Redding and Dragster make up a couple of places. Del Boy's falling back. What's going on with Del Boy? Del Boy finds himself in 11th place. What has happened there? Has he had an off moment? Dragster suddenly all over the back of him, but I'm going to go back up top with Fresh Agent and James Mason. James Mason is right there. He's going to pull to the inside with the DRS. Down the inside. Fresh Agent's not giving up though on the curve. A little bit of a love tap. No harm done. James Mason gets the inside. Is it over? Yes, it is. James Mason back up to P1. That was great racing. Brilliant racing. Oh, Fresh Agent getting a little bit sideways on the exit. Purple J is there. Purple J is going to be one of these two to scrap it out for the rest of the race. And hello, Yeltsin has joined the party. This is a 4-way scrap for P1 on this opening race. Brilliant stuff. Obviously, this is a 25% race, so pit stops will be a factor. Oh my goodness me, Yeltsin with the DRS. Oh my God, actually back up front, Fresh Agent looking like he's going to make a move. On the inside, James Mason's going to have the inside for the next corner. Fresh Agent with the switchback. But James Mason gets a really good exit and holds off Fresh Agent. My God, this is great stuff. Brilliant stuff between these four. What a battle we've got here for the win of this opening race of the evening. Brilliant stuff. My God, Fresh Agent's looking racy. He's going to get the DRS, going to go to the outside. I'm going to ride on board with him. And he does break. Oh my goodness me, sorry, I'm pressing buttons there. And the Fresh Agent is back up in to P1. Can James Mason get back at him? Or was Purple J going to make a move? No, Purple J too far back to make a move on James Mason. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a scrap we've got here. Jay coming under pressure from Yeltsin, who has a penalty to his name. And Jay's pulled the trigger. No, sorry, my bad. Fresh Agent, James Mason and Purple Jay have pulled the trigger, and Yeltsin opts to continue on. All right, let's see how these pit stops go. Fresh Agent, where is Fresh? There he is, coming out pole. Oh! James has jumped him in the pit lane. Oh my goodness me, Fresh Agent was ghosted, and James Mason has jumped Fresh Agent in the pit lane. Whether Fresh Agent had a slightly slower pit than James Mason, I couldn't quite tell, but unfortunately Fresh Agent was ghosted and James Mason managed to jump him. Wow. Okay, let's see what Yeltsin can do then. He's got to have a brilliant outlap. Let's get the gap up. So 15 seconds to James Mason from Yeltsin. Let's get telemetry up so I can see what battery they have got. There we go. Yeltsin with 32% ERS. Pretty sure Yeltsin will be pitting on this lap. Gap now 15 seconds. Yes, Yeltsin pits then. Right, Yeltsin in the pits. Obviously, Fresh Agent being his teammate, Yeltsin had to extend that stint, otherwise he would have been compromised. Where is Yeltsin going to come out then? The Haas actually compromising the Mercedes of Fresh Agent there, holding him up. Where's Yeltsin? Yeltsin just coming out of the pit lane now. You can see him to the left-hand side of your screen. as the Mercedes and the Williams both get past the Haas. And Yeltsin finds himself back in the fourth place and actually ahead of Purple J. Can Purple J get back at him? Has he got DRS? No. It's too far back. Meanwhile, back up top, 5/10 is the gap. James Mason get back at the Mercedes. 8th lap of the Australian Grand Prix. These two are driving their absolute arses off. Purple J with a 3-second penalty. No, Purple J. Now it's got to be on track, buddy. It's got to get done. Purple J has got DRS. Is he close enough to the back of Yeltsin? Oh, he's gaining. Too far back to make a move. He's going to get a second helping of DRS, although Yeltsin had a tremendous exit out of AJ corner there. And Purple J, oh, actually back up top. We've had a change of lead again. James Mason now back in P1, gets a massive snap. A huge snap there for James Mason in the middle of the corner and just about holds on to it. Wow, that could have been disastrous for James Mason. Fresh agent with DRS is going to come right back at him. No, opts to wait for the second DRS zone. Here comes Fresh agent and DRS open. Oh man, it doesn't make the move. I thought Fresh agent would at least opt to send it. Ooh, Fresh agent poking his nose down the inside. Look at these two, they are nose to tail. Woohoo! Wow, these two are going to be fighting towards the end. Here comes the third DRS zone. Surely Fresh agent will get past here. How much ERS does Fresh agent has? Fresh agent actually has 86%. Still stays behind James Mason though. James Mason down to 13% of ERS. The Fresh agent's just going to deploy that battery, and my God, still can't get past with the DRS. How slippery is this Williams in a straight line? Fresh agent really struggling just to get past at the moment. Surely it'll be done into turn one. Oh, the Williams of James Mason running onto the curb. Oh, a little bit of contact. No harm done. James Mason's going to go to the middle of the track. He's going to force Fresh Agent to go round the outside. This will be a brave move. If Fresh Agent can make it stick, no. Brilliant driving from James Mason, still keeping the Mercedes behind. Round 4. Can Fresh Agent get past? Yes, he can. Uses the battery. Into turn 3. A little bit of contact again, but nonetheless, Fresh Agent is through. And now Yeltsin pulling that gap now to Purple J. Meanwhile, down the field, we've got Del Boy in 9th. Anything else happening between Reading and Drag? Nope, nothing at the moment. The closest battle on track is the Williams and the Mercedes. But James Mason's got to be mindful of that battery. It's very low at the moment. I mean, Fresh Agent's got 67% of ERS remaining. And James Mason only 16. Oh! Wow! James Mason almost pushing the Mercedes out of the corner there, out of AJ corner. And James Mason back up to P1. These two switching constantly, lap after lap after lap. Corner after corner after corner. These two are battling like hell. And Yeltsin's there. Yeltsin joining the party. Yes, he has a 3-second time penalty, but who cares about that? These are open lobbies. No one cares about the penalties. Yeltsin. Oh, Fresh Agent down the inside. Ooh, backed out of that. And I must say that was probably the best thing he could have done there, was to back out. That might have ended in disaster. DRS. Fresh Agent. Gonna go around the outside? No. Gets the switch back though. Again, James Mason holds the inside line. Fresh Agent pushing James Mason around the corner. 2/10 separating these two. Oh, wow. James Mason's got to be mindful of that battery though. He is depleting it quite a bit. Fresh Agent on 90% of battery. Yeltsin on 35% of ERS. Oh my God, Yeltsin's right there now. The two Mercedes now battling the one lonely Williams of James Mason. Fresh Agent round the outside into AJ corner, into P1. That's a beautiful move. That's a beautiful move. Wow, brilliant stuff. Balls of steel. Back into P1. James Mason, can he get back at him? Doesn't have to worry too much about Yeltsin with that penalty. Just needs to stick within a second of Fresh Agent, who's got so much ERS. It's unbelievable. He's got 97%, now 100% ERS. If he uses it, he's just going to pull away from James Mason. Yeltsin on the back of James Mason. Now, is Yeltsin going to make a move? No, it's not. Stick behind. Oh, James Mason now with a penalty. Now it's game on for who gets P2. Fresh Agent doesn't really need to worry about James Mason anymore with that penalty. The battle now is for P2. Let me just check the penalty count. If I can actually get it up. There we go, there's the penalties. So James Mason with 3, Yeltsin with 6 seconds. So Purple J can still, oh no, Jay with a 3-second time penalty. Don't think will find himself on the podium, but nonetheless has raced superbly tonight. These 3 still scrapping out. James Mason is not giving up. Regardless of the penalty, he is not giving up. Oh, James Mason with another dummy. Backs out of it, and Yeltsin is just waiting for James Mason to slip up a little bit to get P2. James Mason and a Mercedes sandwich at the moment. Penalties being dished out left, right, and centre. It's thank you for the follow, dude. Appreciate it. Welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. James Mason, almost sending it. Fought twice. And James Mason saves up a lot of battery now. Somehow he's got the 40% battery on the 13th lap of this race. How you doing, Dom? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the follow, dude. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, man. And Fresh Agent still holding strong. Fresh Agent doesn't need to get a penalty, otherwise it will be game on again for James Mason for the win. Yeltsin pushing James Mason side by side out of the corner. The Williams and the Mercedes. The Mercedes on the inside, the Williams on the outside. Look, they both got DRS off the back of Fresh Agent. The Mercedes going to opt it round the outside. Oh, James Mason pushing him wide. Yeltsin had to back out of that, otherwise it would have been disastrous. And Yeltsin finds himself back in P3. Oh my goodness me, Yeltsin. Oh, I thought Yeltsin was going to send it. Yes, mate, you're more than welcome to join, buddy. More than welcome. You need my gamer tag. Let's just pop it in. If you do exclamation mark gamer tag, you will find my Xbox name and you can add it and join off me, mate. Right, meanwhile, back up top. Yeltsin's still there. I mean, Yeltsin does have a 6-second time penalty, so even if he does get past James, James will still regain P2. Penultimate lap then of the Australian Grand Prix. And Fresh Agent creeping away slightly with the Williams and the Mercedes battling out behind. It's giving Fresh Agent a little bit of room. How much battery does he have? Still 80% worth of battery for Fresh Agent. Oh, wow. Wow. James Mason almost pushing Fresh Agent through. AJ corner. Fresh Agent finds himself with a 3-second penalty. It's game on again for P1. Oh, Fresh Agent, I think went a little bit wide on the exit. That's given him a 3-second time penalty. Now it's game on for P1 as we about to start the final lap of the Australian Grand Prix. This is it. It has to be done on track. Oh, James Mason getting sideways out of the penultimate corner. He's going to get DRS. Is he going to make the move into turn 1? No. He's going to opt to stick behind. You do get a second helping of DRS. Is that what James is waiting for? Is he going to wait for the final zone of the DRS to make the move? It probably is the best chance to make a move and keep hold of P1. This is going to be close, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. This is going to the wire. Fresh Agent probably going to be depleting that battery. No, 92% of battery still. I don't think Fresh Agent has even used his battery at all. Although he's going to be using it here, surely, to fend from James Mason, who's actually being hounded by the Mercedes. Oh my God, Yeltsin around the outside. Oh, is he going to go around the outside of Fresh Agent? Yes, he does. Yeltsin up to P1. What a move. What a great move. He's got a penalty. It's going to drop him back. But nonetheless, he got a two-piece into AJ corner. Absolutely spectacular. What a great move. Absolutely sent it around the outside of James Mason and Yeltsin. Unfortunately, that penalty is going to drop him down to P3. Fresh Agent then will take the first win of the evening. James Mason will be back up to P2. Yeltsin P3. Does Jay get P4? Surely? Yes, he does. Purple Jay into P4. Del Boy will come home in 8th. Reading will come home in 11th. And Dragster will come home in 12th. Yeltsin, James, Fresh Agent. That was some great racing. Jesus Christ. Yeltsin round the outside of AJ corner there. Takes a two-piece. Bloody hell. That was crazy.